Welcome, CvCISO Podcast listeners. Welcome to episode 59 of the CvCISO Podcast. Joining me are my good friends, well, better than average friends, Dave and Jordon. What's up? What up?
Jordon, do the 5, and there's 59.
Oh, wait, shit. I just had 5 too. That was 64.
Good math.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah, excuse me. Or was it 5? That would have been 545. I guess it depends on how we do the numbers. That's weird.
Yeah, 595.
Yeah. All right. I'm confused, but I'm happy. Happy Friday to you guys. Dave, this is your show today. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was given the opportunity to pick the topic. So we landed on how to identify if your CISO engagement may have red flags.
Okay. And this is going to be a humorous episode because we've come up with a heck of a lot of really good red flags that, yeah, we were laughing. Dave, you were laughing so hard you were wiping tears from your eyes.
It's going to happen again. Yeah.
So what's the format for the show? Are we thinking like you do one and then we laugh about it, and then Jordon does one and then I do one, and we just keep rotating around on these red flags?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no judgment.
No judgment. No.
No judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Excuse me. All right. You start me out. You start us out, Dave. What's your first
Okay.
CvCISO or vCISO red flag?
You may be in the presence of a red flag if the board says cyber is a top priority, but your budget request gets routed through the same approval process as office snacks.
That might be a red
That's
flag.
definitely a red flag.
So yeah, so the value of your program's equal to those little gift granola bars that you find.
We'll have a pretty hefty snack budget.
Well, that's true. I like snacks. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
That's why
those energy drinks aren't cheap.
That's why.
Ever the optimist, Jordon.
And that's why the doctor. That's why the doctor called me fat. Probably.
It's probably a good $500 a month. You can build a cyber program with that, right?
Well, yeah, of course you can. That's more.
Yeah.
That's more than I'm used to. Even
Therein lies the opportunity to be creative in how you prioritize.
all right. So,
Who's next?
Jordon, you give us one.
All right, I'll give you one. I got a lot of variety of ones. So if they refer to ChatGPT as their special friend, you might be in the presence of a red flag.
That one hits a little deeper too.
That one came out of somewhere. That's actually me. I actually refer to my ChatGPT as my special friend. So red flags, I don't deny that.
Red flag.
Yeah, and actually, if I take a step back in full transparency, my red flags are being brought to you by Microsoft Copilot.
Microsoft Copilot. All right. If the last guy left without notice and no documentation, but a hidden folder named regrets, that might be a red flag. Not that that's happened. I'm just saying that would be a red flag if that were to happen. All right, Dave, give me one.
You might be dating a red flag if they think zero trust is a toxic relationship mindset, not a cybersecurity framework.
Yeah, that would be hard to have a relationship with zero trust. Some days.
I mean, that's the day and age we live in now, though. You know, you can live together and not trust each other. And
I might have to share that one with my wife because I swear some days it's like that.
mm-hmm.
Like I'll tell her something and she's like, "Are you sure? Like, trust me." It's like, well,
Zero trust.
Yeah, the last time I trusted you, you were in jail. She's right. She's got me on that one. All right, what do you got?
All right, if their Wi-Fi network is named Free Hugs, No Firewall,
Boy,
Ooh,
yeah,
you might be in the presence of a cyber.
can you imagine finding that out on doing a network scan?
Yeah,
that's a good one. If the boards,
well, what's wrong with free hugs? I want free hugs.
I like hugs. Firewall's just getting away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If the board's biggest concern is font size on your risk dashboard, that might be a red flag.
The tears are coming back. You might be dating a red flag if their passwords all contain the word password and they're in charge of your vendor risk assessments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Jordon.
If they listen to Nickelback.
Oh my gosh, what we're 8 minutes in, and Nickelback gets referenced.
This is how you remind me.
If the CEO says, "You're the CISO, right? Can you fix the Wi-Fi?" That might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if they think security audit means checking your DMs for emotional inconsistencies.
Yeah.
If their response to a phishing scam is, "Babe, I already wired them the money."
I'm gonna.
Why is it always Dave?
Oh, I thought you said Dave. I thought you said Babe.
No, I said babe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I call Dave babe sometimes, so I see the.
Yeah.
If your vCISO client thinks threat modeling means watching Mr. Robot in the break room, that might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if they don't believe in two-factor authentication because it, quote, kills the vibe.
Kills the vibe.
Here, let me. Okay, I'm going to try and bring in sound effects.
Oh, yes.
Who's next?
I got this. This one actually is good. This is real. If they don't have pit stains, that might be a red flag vCISO.
Is that
Is that a crash? Like the joke just crashed.
It says joke drum. It's supposed to be a like a rim shot. Where is?
No, but like pit stains, like they got to be nervous, and then they've got to be stressed out and like sweat pit stains. If they don't do that, then
I get it.
can you trust them?
I don't. Nope, I'm with you on that.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, not only that, but it just made me feel uncomfortable. I've got anxiety now. Thanks, Jordan. All right. If their crown jewels are in an Excel file called final_final_use_this_one_v2.xlsx, that might be a red flag.
Got a winner. Your CISO reports to the CIO, who reports to the CFO, who reports to a goat on a mountain. And no one's sure where the buck stops.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. There's enough truth in that one to make it funnier.
Hey, Jordan.
If they smell like Abercrombie.
What?
I'm not sure I get that one.
If they smell like Abercrombie? What the hell
If
does
they
Abercrombie
smell like they just came out of Abercrombie and Fitch.
What does that smell like? I don't even never been in an Abercrombie.
Yeah,
Fitch.
Smells delicious.
So if they smell delicious, it's a red flag? I don't know, man. I'm gonna argue
give
with that one. I want some of that.
I'm gonna go back to Grok. They're landing flat.
I don't know. I like
They
that
have
one.
a lot of like Axe body spray on. If they walk in the room,
Got it. All right. If they told you we don't need backups, we've never lost data before, that might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if their favorite pickup line is, "I noticed your identity access management permissions are misconfigured."
These are good, man.
If their idea of a firewall is yelling "stop" at the screen when a phishing email pops up.
I love it. If their incident response drill involves actual fire trucks, that might be a red flag.
I don't think I said this one on recorded yet, but you might be dating a red flag if they believe threat modeling is how you act when you don't get your way.
So when you don't get your way, you
Threaten.
You threaten and model.
Yeah. You pull like a Veruca Salt.
What's a Veruca Salt?
From Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. She was the spoiled little girl. "Daddy, I want the golden goose. The golden goose, Daddy, I want the golden goose."
Watch that. I suck at remembering movie stuff. Jordan, are you giving me one?
I'm just not really impressed with Grok. That's all.
All right.
Some of it, I guess. If they think end-to-end encryption means whispering sweet nothings through a tin can and a string.
That sounds like something Musk would approve.
Yeah, that sounds like Musk humor right there.
I'm gonna say, give me better ones here. Hold on, you guys, go ahead.
If the board thinks phishing is when their cousin's Facebook got hacked in 2014, that might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if they say, "I love a little mystery," and you realize they mean mystery malware in that sketchy USB they just plugged into your laptop.
Let's see, what do they got for me now? These are so lame. Next, skip me. I'm gonna try to find a better.
All right, if you don't have a good one, then you can just say skip. We'll make this a game. Yeah. If the last CISO rage quit mid-audit and left behind a note that said "run," that might be a red flag.
Save yourself. You might be dating a red flag if their idea of foreplay is debating ISO 27001 controls versus NIST 800-53 over wine.
Sadly, there'd be a lot of listeners who don't know what you just said at all.
Well, therein lies more value in the course and the community. Join us.
Join us in our craziness.
Yeah, we can put together a short course on how to find stuff like this leveraging AI.
These are so dumb.
Are you passing
Go
again,
back.
Jordon?
No. Here's a oh, here we go. Here's one. This is not a security one though. This is a actual relationship one.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
This is for the ladies.
The ladies out there.
If he has one of those Calvin peeing window stickers on his,
What? Calvin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
if he has that,
You basically,
I don't know if that's true. Like, is that really a red flag?
I was just going to say, you basically called me a red flag.
I feel like it depends on what he's peeing on. That makes or breaks whether that's a red flag.
True. If your
Are you up, Evan?
Yeah, if your GRC tool is a whiteboard and a shared Google Doc called security stuff, that might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if their idea of encryption is talking in pig Latin with discussing your
That would be something my wife would try to do. Totally. She'd be like, we can't let the kids know. And she'd start speaking. I'm like, the kids know what you're saying right now. Okay. If the devs think OWASP is a Marvel villain, that might be a red flag.
You might be dating a red flag if they say they love privacy, but their smart speaker just said, me too.
So do I.
I agree.
Would you like me to turn the lights down?
Yeah, right?
Would you like to listen to Nickelback?
I love Nickelback. No, I don't.
Man, Grok sucks. I'm sorry. I'm passing
Switch it up.
again.
Go somewhere else. That's cool.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So if the legal team says, let's just not tell anyone, that might be a red flag. I thought
Yeah. I mean, if
Say
you
that
don't tell
again?
anyone, then they won't know.
if
Right?
the legal team says, let's just not tell anyone, that might be a red flag.
Just keep it amongst ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. You may be in the presence of a red flag if you discovered critical vulnerabilities in production, but leadership is more worried about whether the disclosure will affect brand vibes.
Brand vibes. That whole word vibes.
Vibes. Yeah.
For me, it'd be a red flag if any executive used the word vibe. That'd be immediate like,
Yeah.
what the?
So, I mean,
This
you
may
know,
not be the place I want to work.
I'm getting some negative vibes right now, Evan.
That's all right, brother. I don't work for you. But if I did, I'd be a little bit concerned.
Vibes.
Vibes.
It's your vibes.
And I think that's the last one I had that used vibes.
That's okay. No, the vibes thing is good. I got good vibes when I hear it out of your voice.
Vibes.
Jordon?
Vibes. Let's see. How about this one? Let's see.
Buying
If
time, missing the queue.
if your partner asks for your Netflix password, but wants it sent via unencrypted email, like that's not. I'm not.
It's funny. It's funny that whatever AI you're using thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
If
This
the-
one could.
And I got one over here. It's your turn, Evan, which makes me realize Netflix passwords are more common in AI on this topic than
Oh, yeah.
just what you.
If the vendor you just onboarded sent their security questionnaire back as a JPEG, that might be a red flag.
Their idea of two-factor authentication is texting you sure, before logging into your bank account.
Nice. All right, let's stop at we'll stop going around formally and just shout one out when you got one.
Okay. You might be dating a red flag every time you bring up digital hygiene. They say, I have nothing to hide, and use the same password for everything, including their ex's Netflix account.
If the executive risk appetite is, we'll deal with it when CNN calls, that might be a red flag.
That's when it's time to trigger the incident response.
Right. That's their risk appetite. Like, when CNN calls, we'll deal with it.
Mr. Krebs is on line one. He'd like
God.
to speak with you. You might be dating a red flag if they click on free iPhone ads and insist it's fine because they have antivirus software from 2007.
If your vulnerability management strategy is ignore it and it'll go away, that might be a red flag. If you suggest tabletop exercises and they show up with Monopoly boards, that might be a red flag.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if someone asks, what's our ransomware playbook? And the response is pray and pay.
If your biggest insider threat is the marketing intern with unrestricted admin access, that might be a red flag.
At least some of the other ones aren't true or accurate. I
Right.
could totally see.
But if the security,
And then the account,
go ahead.
sorry. I was going to say, and then the username ID on that account is intern one.
Right, right. If the quote unquote security team is just you, your anxiety, and half a working dashboard, that might be a red flag.
That wouldn't have been wouldn't have hit as good without the anxiety
Right?
to be your teammate.
Not only is it my teammates the most effective one I got, that son of a bitch is due for a promotion.
Yeah,
Promotion and pay raise.
you may be in the presence of a red flag if executives call for more AI and cybersecurity, but can't spell scene without a PowerPoint.
If you ask for logs and they send you a selfie of the server room, that might be a red flag. If their idea of cyber hygiene is washing their mouse pad, that might be a red flag.
That one's good.
Yeah.
I need to wash my mouse pad. It's pretty dirty. Can you wash those?
I've never used a mouse pad.
Really? You
No.
just go raw dog?
I raw dog all the time, dog.
Your mousing.
Yeah.
Get your mouse tested.
If quote unquote least privilege means Todd from HR can't touch the coffee machine, but can delete users in AD, that might be a red flag.
Here come the tears again.
I'm so honored.
if they say we've never had a breach and their EDR alerts look like a rave party, that might be a red flag.
You might be. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of these things as I say the things, and I'm thinking about moments in my own career when I've seen these things, and it makes me laugh more. It's like, fuck, that's like so real.
Right. You might be dating a red flag if they ask for access to your calendar and then schedule a phishing test during date night. That some of me.
Right? Oh man, these are awesome. So if they respond to a breach with what breach? That might be a red flag. If they have a backup strategy, but nobody knows where it is, what it backs up, or how to restore it, that might be a red flag.
If they've
Yeah.
implemented zero trust but still believe their sketchy cousin's urgent Venmo requests, that might be a red flag.
Did Grok give you that one?
Yeah. I keep telling him do better, and he gives me 1 out of 10 that's even close.
Slim Pickens.
You have to read like 10 of them before you find one like, okay, I can say this one out loud. If they say we use AI for security and can't explain what the letters A or I stand for, that might be a red flag.
Hey, It's like, was that like a John Travolta? I sounded like, hey.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if the last tabletop exercise turned into an actual incident and no one noticed the difference.
No.
Did you already do the ISO one? Yeah,
I did.
Maybe I missed that because I was busy reading Grok's stuff.
Okay.
Reading drugs, crap.
Yeah, that was the one where Evan said, unfortunately, a smaller percentage of our followers might not understand what that means.
There's a lot of
Cool.
acronyms.
Who's the
Yeah.
You want me to call them out publicly? Is that what we're doing now? This is going to get weird. If the most recent vulnerability scan was done during the Obama administration, that might be a red flag. If your client sends you a risk assessment to fill out about yourself, that might be a red flag. Yeah, I've actually almost had that before, I think, where they sent me a risk assessment as a vCISO, and I'm like, is this, for an XYZ client? And they're like, no, it's for you. And I'm like, you want a risk assessment on me? Like, oh, no, the company you work for. I'm like, oh, okay. But I thought they were asking for a risk assessment on me. And I was like, we're not going to get this client if you want that.
Yeah, once you realize what some of the answers would be.
Yeah. There's not enough mitigating controls.
If their love language is sending you a 47-page NIST compliant PDF on acceptable PDA protocols,
Wow.
I mean, hey, I think we live in a time where that's what you have to do, right? You can't just kiss anyone anymore. You have to probably have them sign an agreement or something.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Thank God I didn't have to pass that with Malice.
Yeah. Yeah. Or research how NIST recommends you proceed.
What's the framework?
Yeah.
But how about this? How about if they say we don't need phishing training? We don't fall for that stuff. That might be a red flag.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't fall
They'll
for
say,
that.
we don't need phishing training. You don't fall for that shit. That's a red
Nobody
flag.
fall for that.
Hell no.
I can spot them like nothing.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if the security team has more turnover than the help desk, and HR wonders why burnout is trending.
Mhm.
How about if their secure file transfer method is zipping the file and adding _secure to the file name? That might be a red flag.
I honestly didn't think I would start running out. This has been glorious.
The good thing about AI is there's no run out, man. It's a
There's no
huge
run.
language model. There's so many languages in there. Yeah, if they skipped patching because it might break stuff and now everything is broken, that might be a red flag.
If their idea of incident response is emailing the entire C-suite, whoops, we're hacked, with the shrug emoji.
That was great.
Hey, Grok, you came through, buddy.
Yeah, Grok gave us one. Woo, woo. How about if you suggest a tabletop exercise and they bring lunch and actual tables? That might be a red flag.
Go back online for some more.
If their idea of a romantic gesture is a Slack bot that pings you with compliance check, are you still into me?
How about if
Check yes or no.
their business continuity plan is to post or looking into it on Twitter? That might be a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah. You may be in the presence of a red flag if you hear, what's multi-factor authentication from your IT guy.
MF.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if the last time your antivirus was updated, Blockbuster was still open.
Oh, good old Blockbuster. I feel like someone should open one again.
What's that?
So we can still do some of these jokes, but I wonder, do you have any VCISO like serious ones?
No, I've never done business.
Yeah. I was wondering at some point we were going to transition, but the jokes have just been so much fun.
Well, let me leave you.
I'm not trying to be a wet blanket.
Well, you are with blanket though. But let me leave you with this one. If the internal audit team consists of Cheryl from accounting and a cat named Biscuit, that might be a red flag. Who would name their cat? I'm thinking who would name their cat Biscuit?
Exactly. Yeah.
All
right.
If their patching cadence, I got to do this one too. If their patching cadence is lunar based, that might be a red flag.
All right.
If their quarterly risk assessment is a whiteboard with hackers equals bad in red marker and nothing else.
If the company's most secure asset is a vending machine, that might be a red flag.
Oh, that's true though.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if your firewall rules were last reviewed by a retired intern.
Mm-hmm.
If you mention attack surface and they check the windows, that might be a red flag.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if your security training video still features Windows XP screenshots.
See, we can't stop this, and we're on a roll now. If you bring up data classification and someone says ours is in alphabetical order, that might be a red flag.
I'll throw one more out there, and then
No, we
Jordon,
can't stop. I'm loving this. I want to keep laughing. Fuck the serious shit.
You
We do
may
it
be
all
in
the
the-
time.
You may be in the presence of a red
right.
flag if your SOC gets alerts but calls them suggestions.
If your last penetration test was performed by some guy from Craigslist, that might be a red flag. If the CISO before you became a yoga instructor and won't talk about what happened, that might be a red flag.
There's the amount of sticky note ones. Like there's Grok is like he can't get out of this box. He's just like every time I have him regenerate, it's like he says he's secure, but he has a post-it note of his password. Like, come on, get out of the box, buddy.
Yeah. Go ahead. You may be in the presence of a red flag if your Amazon S3 bucket is more open than a 24-hour diner.
If quote unquote defense in depth means duct tape, hope, and a really angry sysadmin, that might be a red flag. ChatGPT is kicking your ass on Grok.
Yeah.
It's is it Grok or am I just I didn't prompt it good enough?
Maybe.
If your CISO says the company's cyber program is locked down, but the server room door is propped open with a coffee mug, you might be a red flag.
That totally does sound like something Musk would go, I approve.
Yeah, right?
Send it out.
Included the LLM. You may be in the. Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
If the sales guy says it installs in 15 minutes, but you're on week 6 and still need a custom Python script to get the damn dashboard to load, that might be a red flag.
Oh, there's so much. You may be in the presence of a red flag if your CFO just asked you to urgently wire $50,000 from a Gmail account with the profile pic of a minion.
If they say we're agentless, but hand you a zip file called totally not an agent.exe, that might be a red flag. If the live demo crashes and they blame your browser, that might be a red flag.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if you mistook a phishing email for a calendar invite and now the attacker's presenting.
If they offer you a $100 Amazon gift card just to take the call and $500 more if you don't ask any questions, that might be a red flag.
Maybe in the presence of a red flag if the Microsoft security team emails you from M1CRO. Maybe that one's a bit of a reach.
Yeah, well, that was good though. I mean, if you followed along with it.
Yeah, it was hard to, there was more on the delivery in that one.
If your CISO's penetration test is asking the intern to guess the CEO's password in under 10 tries,
Say that again?
might be a
I'm
red
sorry?
flag.
That's a good one.
What was it? Say again? I'm sorry?
If penetration test is asking the intern to guess the CEO's password in under 10 tries, you could probably do it in one.
Probably.
Yeah.
If the founder,
You may be.
oh, go ahead. Well, you and
Go
I
for
keep you and I keep talking at the same time because I think I just go faster and I shouldn't.
No, go ahead, man. All good.
Okay.
It's all for yeah, please.
If the founder used to sell supplements and hacked his own biology, now he's selling XDR, that might be a red flag.
You may be in the presence of a red flag if your Terraform scripts look like they were written by a caffeinated raccoon.
That's how all my scripts look.
Yeah. As opposed to the uncaffeinated raccoon.
Right.
Yeah. You may be in the presence of a red flag if least privilege means whoever logs in first gets admin.
If their incident response policy was copied from a 2009 blog post and still has insert company name here, that might be a red flag.
If your company's cybersecurity policy is a single slide in the onboarding deck that says, be smart, don't get hacked.
Those totally you can visualize that coming from Elon. You may be in the presence of a red flag if the attacker's email signature says, sent from my iFish.
If every meeting ends with, as long as we pass, who cares? That might be a red flag.
Guys, we just got to pass. We're good.
Jordon, there's your bridge into reality.
Yeah, we could talk reality now if you guys want to. Give me some stories.
I mean, we don't have to. But I do think that, like, I don't know, I'd be curious to hear some things, I would be curious to hear.
How do we do
I was
that?
just thinking about it. Like it, I mean, in some ways these can be a little bit humorous, but it was like, I was thinking, if they agree with everything you say, that could be a red flag. If you're the vCISO or if you're hiring a vCISO.
Yeah, you
and
could
they
spin that
agree with
both
everything
ways.
you say.
Yeah, you could spin that both ways if they agree with everything or if they disagree
There you go.
with everything, and trying to understand that it's a partnership and meet in the middle somewhere,
Or if they say there's a silver bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, or powered by AI.
Well, now we're getting back to the jokes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Or there's an easy button.
Easy.
Actually, that was an idea I pitched to FR Secure's marketing that never got approved, was to make a bingo card that you could take to like those trade shows. And the bingo cards would be like, found an easy button, powered by AI. And you just go through and you play cyber bingo and you take pictures of those vendors that do those things. And then once you get bingo, you win a prize.
Yeah.
But it was all sorts of, those sorts of easy, but guaranteed 100%.
Mm-hmm.
What was the one you had, Evan, there about installs in 15 minutes, but you're 6 weeks later, you're not a Python script?
Yeah, I mean, that happened. Yeah, that's pretty common. I mean, it's happened to me numerous times in my career. For sure, when you're overpromised something, like, yeah, it's so easy. You just got to double click and you're ready to go. And it's like, you swear like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 months later, You're still trying to figure out how it works, or
Yeah.
it's still not.
Yeah. Jordan, to your point of trying to be serious, a red flag would be if you're looking at an initiative and you're not taking the total cost of ownership into consideration. You know, there's licensing costs. What's it going to take to get that thing up
Mhm.
and running, configured, and then properly managed from there?
Yeah.
You know, there have been times where someone will just say, hey, the cost of the license is this, but you haven't scoped out, well, how are you going to get to where you want to be? And then you wake up a year later, spent the money, and the solution didn't get implemented, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if your CFO asks for an ROI on your firewall, that might be a red flag, where it's just a misunderstanding of what these functions do. And I mean, it's common, but then you have to, most of the red flags that I run into or have run into in the past with information security are really just red flags because of shitty communication.
Yeah.
I mean, a lack of understanding of what it is that we do, what the point is, what the purpose is, and that's why we spend so much time in the CvCISO course explaining that, making sure that everything is driven by the purpose, by the reason. What is information security? It's risk management. It's not risk elimination. If there's one thing that business people do understand, they do understand risk management. But I think a lot of them don't
Right.
think of information security in a risk management context. So it just seems like over the years, most of the red flags that I've run into as a VCISO were all overcomable. All overcomable. I think that the important thing was, as a VCISO, recognizing that red flag and then doing something about it.
Yeah. And that totally ties into being able to meet them where they are so you can have those conversations.
Yeah, because you have a lot of times where I think either the VCISO didn't identify that, maybe because of their own lack of expertise or knowledge, didn't identify that what the executive just said or what they're doing is wrong. It's a red flag. And either they didn't notice it or they noticed it, but they didn't take it upon themselves to do anything about it. Maybe it's a lack of
Yeah.
confidence. Maybe it's a lack of openness, entertaining those things from the executive or whatever. But you can't you can't let it go because it doesn't get better. It gets worse if you don't attend to these red flags. So I mean,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to that. Let's define what a red flag is for a VCISO. Is it just something that a customer's doing, or something they've said, or something that's just incorrect?
And we're looking at it in terms of we're the VC. So what are the red flags we see in our clients?
Because to me,
Yeah.
every risk is a red flag. Just some red flags are, higher priority than others, I think. But there's never been like, if a red flag is like something like you encounter as a VCISO that makes you turn and run the other way, or, that's really, really
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah, you could almost put like a rating system, like when we were talking about the incident response plans of when the event turns into an incident, how highly scored is that incident? And then where's that red flag in this? So, like, Jordan, to me, the biggest red flag would be apathy,
Yeah.
that they just don't care.
Yeah, that's a big one. And you can't seem to get them to care. Like, you can't make the case. They're not even willing to entertain the
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, where you can literally sit in front of them and clarify, we are past the ignorant stage, correct? We've graduated from ignorant to apathy. You understand, you just are making the decision that I have to throw all these on a risk register with your name on them.
So it's like
And then my work here
It's like
is
a
done.
closed-minded apathy. Like, I don't care, and you can't make me care. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would run from that for sure. Now, have you ever run
Yeah.
into that? Because I've run into it lots of times where they don't care, but then when you communicate it in a way that they understand, they end up opening up and caring more than they did, which I always viewed as progress, and I always viewed progress as being defensible. But
Mhm.
I can't recall a time when I've run into somebody who didn't care and didn't want to care. Just didn't want to hear it at all.
Yeah, the closest I got to it, and it was before coming on board with FR Secure, was it wasn't yet a client, but they had called and they knew that their servers were compromised because the FBI told them. And the FBI was tracing Chinese threat actors, traced them into their network. So when the FBI called, they said, "We don't believe you're the FBI, So the FBI said, okay, well, here's some screenshots of your desktop. You know, how else would I have those? But realizing that the breach had gotten that deep, the client didn't want to put together a program. The board just wanted somebody to go in, identify where they got in, and patch that.
Okay, but
That
yeah,
was,
they didn't want to go any
and
further or do the right thing. They just wanted to make the problem go away. This one problem.
correct. And yeah, and we ended up passing because we said, that's just, you're patching one hole in the ship without, when there's other holes we don't even know about yet.
Yeah, you patch the hole, but you're still sinking, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, just, I mean, if there's that level of penetration into the network, just doing that one thing, is the threat will stay persistent. I'll put it that way.
Right.
And they just didn't care about that. It was almost like they just had to explain to somebody, hey, this is what happened, this is what we did. And everything else is fine. Like that meme with the dog sitting at the desk and everything's burning, everything is fine. That would be probably an example of the biggest red flag I've seen, because you just knew you couldn't help them.
Right.
You knew what the real risk was. You knew what a proper path forward was, and they just were not interested in that. And if you were to take it, now you've accepted money and something else is going to happen. And now your name's in this stuff were something bigger to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess in my life, there are those people I've encountered over the years that are just hell bent on being stupid. They're just, I'm especially, I'm thinking of one conversation I had with somebody. It was actually somebody who stayed at the house here, and you could point out, like clear as day, using logic, how what they're thinking and what they're saying are just stupid. I mean, when there's no logic to support your argument at all, doesn't that make it stupid? I mean, it's an absence of any logic. And so, you'd point it out and it would still like this, so stuck on their point that they were unwilling to accept any other viewpoint, even if it was incredibly obvious that there's zero logic to support why they do what they do or what they're thinking. It's just this closed mindedness that
Yeah.
it's, I'll give it to you what you say. Now, the thing is, with a vCISO is, I guess there's been times when I've run into barriers, but I mean, you must care a little bit. You're paying me. You know what I mean? What are you paying me for? I mean, there's got to be at least some level of care about something.
Yeah.
And if you want a vCISO who's going to do nothing but just just navigate your apathy and do stupid shit for you all the time, that's not going to be me. I'm not, I don't want, I mean, you could pay me twice as much to do nothing and I won't take it. So I think that's when you kind of question your own integrity as a vCISO. If you're in that position where you're not going to get anything done, or you're not going to do the right things, and it's time and time again, and you've tried everything you can think of to try to make the case for them to do the right thing, but yet they still won't do it. At some point, you have to question, having them as a customer anymore.
Yeah. Take a moment to look in the mirror, because like you said before, if you chase the mission, the money will come. And if you're in a scenario like that, you've pretty much decided to chase the money once you realize you're not gonna be able to help.
Which then, because what you get is a short-term gain, right? The money that you're getting right now, but what you're losing is the long-term gain, right? The reputation, your own reputation as a vCISO, because your name's going to be associated with this shitty program that you can't seem to get anywhere. It's something bad is going to happen, right? It's more likely. The risk would be higher, so you'll have to deal with that. It's just the long-term return on your investment and taking those short-term gains is negative. So it'd be better to identify that red flag of apathy and closed-mindedness and walk away from it.
Yeah.
If anything,
Jordan,
if you have that one competitor in the market that does shitty work and you don't like them, refer that customer to them, because the more customers they get like that, the more likely they are to implode, which from a mission perspective is exactly what we want. We don't want players in this. It sounds like brutal, but the people who are not serving their clients, we don't want them in business anymore if they're not willing to change.
Yeah, no, it's true. Jordan, let me ask you, if we pivot it just a little bit. If you can think of red flags with prospective or existing clients from the IT side.
From the IT side, they don't schedule QBRs with us. That's a big red flag. If they're not willing, if leadership's not willing to meet with us regularly to, talk through, the last 90 days and how things went. Did we meet expectations and form a plan? Talk about any issues or projects and form a plan for the next 90 days and actually like plan ahead. That to me is a red flag. And it happens all the time. It's like, we meet quarterly so that we can be with you and deliver projects for the next quarter with some sort of plan and preparation. And rather than you just saying, hey, I bought this new software, implement it, and I want it done like yesterday. It's amazing how many people like that's just how they run their business. It's all just kind of from the hip, and you try to get them on more of a strategy and a plan, and sometimes they fight that.
Do you think they're that way with other like vendors and stuff too, where they're just not proactive, period, in those ways?
I don't know. I mean, I think good business leaders want to plan things and strategize and have kind of an outlook and a vision, especially as they mature. But I don't know, there's just some people that I think, and this probably applies all over the place, some people just are stuck in their immaturity for whatever reason, in whatever, and maybe it's just because it's the way it's always been. Maybe they just kind of feel like, well, it worked out. I'm like, I mean, I've had people kind of brag about how, like as if one of their skills is just kind of, throw anything at me and I'll get through it, which I think is a skill, but it's not really. I mean, is that really how you want to be? Is like your main skill is chaos, like just throw me a random thing and I'm just gonna do it. Like, wouldn't you want to be getting to more predictability? I guess I don't even know if I guess I don't know that I'd even say that like anyone's wrong. I guess if something works for you, it works for you. But
Well, yeah, because kind of the root of what I was thinking or where we're going with it is that if it's not that they're disrespecting or not seeing the value in those quarterly businesses, that they just natively live in a survival mode.
right,
So that could be a red flag.
no,
Asking them what their strategy for the year is with the business.
right.
And they say, who's the strategy?
And I am. I mean, I certainly understand, being in a place where you don't really have one. But I think the reddest flag is if like you just don't want that. Like let's come together and put some sort of a plan together. And if it's like met with no, you don't want to do that, or like there's no desire to. I mean, and a lot of that, from the IT side, and probably, I mean, that cross references with cyber and probably a lot of areas in life. But it's like, when people don't experience pain, when they shoot from the hip and they make a huge mistake and someone's always there to clean up the mess and they get no ramifications from their decision, like, how likely are they going to just keep doing what they're doing?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Sorry, were you going to say something, Evan?
No, I'm saying good point.
Yeah. Like one of the things I was doing when I had my company was take a look at the client or the prospect and try and understand what their 5-year plan was. And it wasn't like asking them, hey, what is your 5-year plan? Because if you take people like you're describing, they're not going to know, or they're not going to have one. But the buckets that they could be put in is, are they looking to overall grow the company? Are they looking for additional locations or more people? Are they looking to scale, or are they looking towards retirement, or to sell, kind of a thing? And then that would at least give, because if you got someone that's looking to retire, their value system's going to orbit around that. And you try and model it that way. But and that kind of ties into being able to reach them where they're at, sort of a thing. Because there was like a dentist that I'm thinking of as a client, and he was looking at retirement. So it allowed to have conversations about how he saw that playing out. Even being able to say, do you know where your buyer may come from? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be able to say, And then if they came back and said, oh, my son's going to take it over, then you at least knew. But if it was somebody external, you could say, hey, anybody that's looking to evaluate the value of the business is going to be looking at these things and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's what I like about EOS and the traction stuff is when we have a client that runs their business on that, the entrepreneurial operating system, because that's what we use. And, those relationships are so tight and you're talking the same language and, you're
Yeah.
getting together quarterly and you're setting goals and plans and it just goes so much smoother.
Yeah. Both sides will be of the same mindset,
And to your point, like when they can clearly state like what their 3-year picture is, their 5-year target and all that, I love that because I love being a part of them hitting their goals. I mean, feel like that's what we all want, as a cybersecurity professional, you're a VC. So like, if you're not helping them hit their goal, then what are you doing? And same with IT, it's same with any business you're a part of or you're a vendor to. Like, they have a goal, they have a mission to achieve, and everything you do should be helping them get there.
Yeah. You can align and support that.
And so a red flag might be, a business that doesn't know where they're going, doesn't know what the definition of success is for them, or
Stuck success.
Well, you can take that and then, because like I'll always throw things into one of two buckets of ignorance or apathy. And if that's where they're at, but if they're open to, real changing, then you got something you can work with. And if they say, you know what, this is the way we've done it for 30 years and I'm going to ride this to the grave. All right.
I think that's a great test, having the bucket of, because the apathy, that's really the red flag. And that's what you started with. Like a company that doesn't have that vision and mission, like clear, but they'd love to, they're just a struggling business trying to get by every day. Like it's and can't set aside the time to strategize. I think a lot of people find themselves in that boat. It's like, where do I find the time to stop working in the business and start working on it and planning these things? Like I got to pay my payroll next month, but it doesn't make it any less. It doesn't make it any
Hey
less.
guys, I am looking at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And Evan, I gotta hang out with your work wife.
Kevin, oh my God, enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
We'll edit this out.
No, that's fine.
No, all good.
Give us
Okay.
one final red flag.
All right.
We've got to leave on a high note.
Okay, I'll give you one red flag, and it's one that I use in life, not just VC showing. It's lies.
Yeah.
There's nothing that irritates me or pisses me off more or is a bigger red flag than somebody lies to me. And that's life, that's friendship, that's VC sewing, that's a client, that's anything. And it's not like you're one and done, but it's a huge red flag. We have to address this now and make sure this doesn't happen again. Otherwise, nothing good ever comes of it.
No, dude, that's solid. I was actually going for a joke.
That's
Sorry, I thought we were on the
serious one.
I want to bring it full circle. You may be in the presence of a red flag if your phishing simulation gets 100% click rate and a few thank yous.
Did I?
Yeah, I got to drop, guys.
And that's a wrap.
Right. Have a good one, man. See you later.
Okay. Yeah. Great weekend to y'all.
Yes. I got to find
Done?
the thing I guess I got to find the thing to turn off the thing. All right. Jordon, I appreciate you. You're a beautiful human being. Don't forget it.
Right back at you, my man. That sounded weird. My man. See you.
I stopped the recording right after that. You still there?